think the club had mistaken that call from him for somebody trying to contact me to defect. And after that, they didn't want to take a chance. They just didn't want to bring me along because they didn't want to be the ones stuck with the tab that I escaped on their watch. So yeah, so that's
defect in the end.
What's that?
Did you have to defect in the end, or did they let you
go? Yeah, I did. Yeah, I got fed up at the age of 18. I got contacted by the guys that used to kind of broker these deals to get out, and they told me Edmonton Oilers are looking forward to seeing you in their colors, and they played it up. And as an 18-year-old, you're naive, so you just go, "Oh my God!" I took it as Wayne Gretzky wants me on his wing right now.
Sign me up. Let's go.
Yeah,
I'm my bags, Wayne. I'm coming to save you.
I got you, buddy. I got you, Wayne.
I got your back, man. I got your back. So
anyways, for those of our listeners that have no clue whatsoever, and I'm saying our listeners, like including myself, no clue whatsoever what it means to like really defect. Like, what were the implications for you, your family? How did it come about? How did you execute it? Just talk us through that. I'm fascinated by this.
Yeah, I'm really interested.
Okay. Well, once there was a World Championships, senior championships that I didn't attend, but when the team came back, one of the players that was on the team, don't want to name his name still till this day because I don't know if there's any issues for him, contacted me. He said, "Listen, these guys do want to contact you and take you out." So he gave me a phone number, and I called that number, and then we set up a meeting in Hungary. This is come around, probably was about March or April. So I went out to Hungary to meet with these guys that were not representative of the Oilers, but they were the guys that brokered the shady stuff of leaving. And that meeting, we set up a date. They said we could probably get you out around September. And I'm 18, and my final exams in high school are coming up. And I'm, as any clever lad would think, hang on a second, I could get out of the final exams. I need to leave. I need to leave by May at the latest. So they said, well, that's kind of rough, but we'll make it happen. So right down at one single meeting, they set a date, May 17th, 1987, to meet somebody in Budapest, Hungary, and we parted ways. And I just went in a good faith. I was committed now. In my mind, I'm going. Whatever it takes, I'm going. I'm escaping. I'm doing whatever I need to do to get out there. And of course, being in a communist country, I couldn't share that with anybody. I shared it with my dad. My dad knew. My mom, who I lived with, my parents were divorced. I couldn't tell her because I was fearing that being mom, she'll maybe do something stupid to stop me from going. And when the date came, I just executed. I packed my bag up, jumped on a train, looked around for last time because I didn't think I was ever coming back to my hometown. At that time, once you left, you're not coming back. Jumped on a train, and 2 hours later, I was in Budapest, where I met with the people that performed the duty of smuggling me over the border. So when everything settled, and I called my mom finally from Edmonton about 9 days later. At that point, she'd been called into the police station once and questioned. She didn't have a clue, and I think they saw it. They seen that she was genuine, so they let her go. Then my dad got hauled in. It was the same thing, questioning. I don't know. He's gone. I can't control him.
You're 18 at that point, so you don't have to answer to anybody, right?
100%. So they kind of got away with it. I think that if it happened 10, 15 years earlier, maybe there would have been a little bit more pressure on them, but there wasn't. They didn't lose their jobs. I know, they just moved on. Like, this guy left. They just didn't know how. Like, how is this possible? How is this guy here one day and he's gone? So I think they were trying to dig in, and my mom and dad didn't know how I left. I never shared that with them till years later. So that was probably the number one thing for them, wanting to know, how did this play out? I mean, we have a barbed wire and dogs and all this tight security. How does this guy escape from here? So maybe that was the intrigue for them, right?
It's fascinating.
Yeah.
So was this pre or post McGillney leaving Russia?
No, Mogilny left later.
Later.
He's
That was a huge deal, right?
Yeah, he's younger than me. I mean, I think he's about 2 or 3 years younger than me, and much better than me.
He's much better than most people.
Yeah, true. So I don't really know. I didn't read Alex's the Mogilny story, how he went, but I think he just stayed behind. I mean, that would have been a lot simpler if you were already abroad and you just don't come home.
If you're playing for the Russian national team at the World Juniors in Canada or America and you just stay there.
Correct. Yeah. Which wasn't the case in my situation, but it was nevertheless. Those guys were even more hardcore. I mean, Russia was the leader of the communist system, so I imagine he must have been worried about his family and what's consequences there could have been for him and his family.
I have to ask. I'm not sure if it was covered. My internet sucks. I'm up in the mountains. So yeah, absolute shocker. So I lost connection for a bit. But you mentioned like how did you get out? Like there's barbed wire, there's dogs, but there's a train from Czech Republic to Czechoslovakia. Czechoslovakia. Sorry, to Hungary. Was there like kind of a treaty agreement, and that was kind of like a softer area to get to that you could then get out from there?
Correct. Hungary was part of the Eastern Bloc countries, so getting from Czechoslovakia to Budapest was no problem. I mean, quick little look up your ID and you in. But at the time, Hungary and Austria, which Austria is the Western civilization, like it's a completely different system, was they had an agreement where they really softened up the border crossing, which wasn't the case from Czechoslovakia to Austria or other countries. So these guys knew it, and they kind of exposed it. So they set it up. We would meet in Budapest, and then from Budapest to Vienna, they used a diplomatic cart to smuggle me out from there.
So at this point, were the Oilers picking up all the costs involved, or as an 18-year-old, are you having to fund this yourself? Because I don't imagine finding a couple of shady dudes is going to be very cheap when it comes to smuggling people out of countries. So
yeah, no, there's nothing I could have funded, man. So Oilers did. I think they felt like it was worth to take a chance and take a risk, and so. They must have paid those guys off. I'm sure they did. I've seen it. And then I met with the chief scout in Austria. They just verified who they brought over as who they wanted to be coming over, and that was the end of it.
Yeah, how does that play out if you get there? And it's almost like Tinder now. Like you got there, it's like, nah, you're not the same guy. It's like, you're
catfishing us.
It was freaky because my hometown Bratislava and Vienna are only 50, 60 kilometers apart. And yet it's like two completely different planets, really, at that time. So being so close to Bratislava, I was nervous. I'm going, what if they send somebody to get me back and all that stuff? But we spent a couple nights in Vienna. Then we went up to the mountains for about 5 days while Barry Fraser, who was the chief scout, was arranging all the paperwork and everything that needed to be done. And we were out of Austria within a week or 9 days, flying over to Canada. So it was pretty quick.
They put you on a private jet or flying cabin?
No, I wish I could embellish, but no, it was just a...
Thanks for watching 4,000 and counting clips. Don't forget to hit subscribe. Don't forget to hit the notification button. Hit like. Hope you really enjoyed this video. We have a brand new sponsor on board. It is Oddballs. You can see we have all of the hats. Lots of different hats. They're really, really cool. Nowhere near as cool for me, though, as the boxer shorts. Now, look at all these wacky designs. We love them. They are great. They also have the Oddballs Foundation, which helps out testicular cancer. We love that. Look at all these wild socks as well. All the different colours. Absolutely fantastic. You can see the hat that I'm wearing now. So if you head over to myoddballs.com, use the code ICEBALLS at checkout, you'll get 20% off. It is free delivery over £20. So myoddballs.com, use the code ICEBALLS, 20% off.